One of the beautiful things that art can do for us is to expand our understanding of God and of biblical stories by giving us images of God that come from different cultures, or images of Jesus' birth coming to us from a Chinese artist or an African artist, where the skin tones are different, or the surrounding countryside landscapes look like different parts of the world, are just reminders that these stories are for all of us and cannot be captured in one cultural representation. And I have certain pictures in my mind that come from movies that I saw when I was a child, or drawings from the Bible I had as a child. And so seeing some of these stories that look so different make me just go, wow, I never saw it that way. The text this week comes from the first chapter of Luke. We're again building up to the birth of Jesus. And it's the story of Mary's visit to Elizabeth. When Mary finds out that she is carrying Jesus in her womb, she goes to visit her relative Elizabeth, who is 6 months ahead of her in pregnancy, bearing in her womb John the Baptist, the prophet who will prepare the way for Jesus. And so it's this beautiful sort of behind the scenes interaction between these two women who know what God is up to long before the rest of the world knows it. The second part of the text is the Magnificat, the song that Mary sings. And the way it's written, it seems that she sings it right in Elizabeth's presence. So it's all part of that episode. And she sings of God's justice and what God is already accomplishing in the world in that moment. So the theme word for the week is peace. As we light the fourth Advent candle, we'll be announcing Christ's peace. And I connect it with this story between Mary and Elizabeth and how at peace they are with their role in what God is doing. Mary's not afraid. She steps out with courage. She says yes, and she goes to Elizabeth. She does what she needs to do to get the support and encouragement she needs in that moment of her life before things become public with Joseph. And her song, the Magnificat, announces the peace that God is accomplishing through the birth of Christ. The painting that we are looking at this week is actually called the Nativity, and it depicts the birth of Jesus. Once again, we are still in Advent, so we're not yet announcing the birth of Christ. But we found in this painting some images that point to Mary and Elizabeth, images that we could focus in on that help us think about these two women and their role in bringing God's plan into fruition. So for this time together, we'll be zooming in on a few places in the painting that will help us consider Mary and Elizabeth and their role in this powerful story. As we focus in on this painting, we can see several women who are holding children. Can you imagine one of these women as Elizabeth? One as Mary? The women in the painting are on a journey, traveling down the road. Elizabeth is a few months ahead of Mary in her pregnancy. How might Elizabeth be a guide for Mary, a support, an understanding friend? All of the people in this painting are on a journey toward the Holy Family and the Nativity. We too are on a journey, taking us ever closer to Christ. Who accompanies you on your journey? This image reminds us that we do not travel alone. There are those who go before us, who hold our hands, who have our back. As we gaze upon these women in the painting who are holding children, take a moment to ponder the special, particular role that Mary and Elizabeth have, carrying within them the holy that is yet to be revealed to the world. How are you a bearer of the holy to the world? As we move ever closer to the birth of Christ, may you know that you do not travel alone. May you know the peace that comes from the journey. And may that peace give you a thrill of hope.